The Arcturian group, dear readers. The presence of increasingly more high resonating energy as well as the growing number of individuals now awakening on Earth is causing familiar concepts to change or completely dissolve. Many well-established and accepted three-dimensional beliefs about everything will automatically fade away as the collective awakens, simply because they are formed only from belief, having no real divine law to sustain or maintain them. The chaos you are witnessing in the world at this time is a necessary facet of Earth's ascension process. Over time, states of consciousness conditioned with false beliefs of duality, separation, and many powers created a collective consciousness that has kept mankind hypnotized into believing that they were nothing more than powerless physical bodies with a limited lifespan. The material world does not and has never reflected reality simply because it is a concept. What most see and experience is the material sense of God's creative expression as earth illusion, because every person's true self is divine consciousness. Every person automatically creates, and over time, conditioned states of consciousness have created a material world that most still consider to be reality. A world of laws of separation, chaos, wars, and self-serving leaders in every area of life. However, the illusion is starting to crack and be recognized for what it is. Increasingly, more individuals are waking up from the dream that has held them in bondage through lifetimes and are beginning to reclaim their innate power. The dense creations that most believe to be reality must first be seen in order to be recognized, rejected, and then eliminated from Earth's collective consciousness. This is the ascension process. The once powerful influence of those aligned with and promoting separation is weakening. The self-sustained and self-maintained universal completeness called God is now, always has, always will, continue to express the fullness of itself in, as, and through all its creations, simply because it is the substance of all that is. Minds conditioned with the false belief of being separate from some faraway human type, God are unable to experience the God within expressing through them simply because their present state of consciousness is not in alignment with the energy of their fully present but unrecognized God self. The high resonating energy of the ascension process is weakening the three-dimensional energetic gap between thinking, plotting, planning human minds and individual reality consciousness. This is allowing every person easier access to the higher resonating energies of their real self. This is why we continue to say that metaphysical tools are becoming obsolete. It is difficult for many to accept that the spiritual practices, tools, prayers, ceremonies, and petitions that have served to bring them to higher levels of spiritual understanding cannot bring them any closer to God than they already are. Spiritual tools have a place and have been an important part of almost everyone's spiritual journey. But to hold on to them as being power after knowing that God is already fully present within only serves to fuel separation. The highest prayer and practice anyone can do is to rest in conscious realization of I am. We are not saying you cannot enjoy being part of some church service, gathering love crystals, enjoy the fragrance of essential oils, etc. We are saying that assigning these things a power that you believe you don't have and need to get from them is false. At a certain point in everyone's spiritual evolution, they must accept their real divine self as being the only reality. Allow reality without seeking, wishing, praying, hoping, petitioning, etc. Allow. Know in every moment and circumstance the one and only self-complete, self-sustained reality that you are and always have been is fully present, just waiting to be recognized and allowed to express. This is not pretending to a state of consciousness you have not yet attained, because you are ready. In the beginning, just a bit of reality seems to flow into conscious awareness and expression, but a sincere desire to know God aright, and allow it to manifest acts to further open consciousness, allowing it to express outwardly as opportunities and experiences that guide, direct, and eventually fully open the door. Not because you did anything, but because you got out of the way and allowed. Honestly, examine your belief system for anything and everything based in duality, separation, and powers other than the one power. Once you know and accept that you are not just a body, but are the individualized expression of divine consciousness / source / God, many things, foods, entertainment, relationships, media, religion, rules, and regulations, no longer align with you as they once did. This is because evolution has caused your energy to change and not longer be in alignment. Use these experiences to examine what you may still believe about them. God is the common name of a universal divine consciousness, reality, that cannot and never will be fully understood by the human mind because God is infinite and the human minds are finite. Don't waste time trying to comprehend exactly what God is. Just accept that God does not withhold, and God does not give. God simply is. You are presently witnessing and experiencing the creations of a collective consciousness, long conditioned with beliefs of duality, good and evil, old and young, rich and poor, sick and well, separation from God, humans, and all other life forms, and many powers, devil, evil, disease, lack, sin, limitation, and an infinite number of powers that have control and dominate on earth. Learn to see through all false and illusory appearances and instead know the truth. Many are suffering at this time, but remember that before birth, every person creates a contract for what they want to experience on earth. Many of those suffering at this time did not need the experiences in order to learn, but rather bravely volunteered to be a part of them in service of the ascension process. Their experiences are helping awaken the sleeping majority to oneness. This is what it means to look through appearances to their underlying reality. The three-dimensional level is actually the bottom rung of a very high ladder. The ascension process is providing many opportunities to ascend the dimensional ladder. Some will choose to stay in the old energy either through fear of change, an inability to accept anything beyond what they have always believed, or because they profit from it. Others will grab and utilize every opportunity to spiritually evolve. The free will choice is yours. If I really believe what I have come to know about myself, others, and God, then I must live it because to do otherwise would be like choosing to remain in a theater watching a play where the curtain never comes down. I have access to everything I will ever need. Do I choose to access it or not? We are the Arcturian group.